Alrighty, F11 and start. Here we are. Anyway, hello everybody. So I did play a little on here the other day, actually yesterday, while God, I hate that glitch. Waiting on YouTube to unban me for whatever reason they decided to do so. And I bought this, the Mason Bogey, also known as the 10 Mile. It's one of my favorite locomotives, and I named it preemptually George Washington. So, but the issue that I have with this locomotive is if we go back here, it has 1,200 water, and by the time I got these cars hooked up, loaded them, hauled them up here, it was at 99 water out of 1,200. So, yeah, that made me feel great, and it kind of upset me a little too. So, we are now going to grab this lovely beast, and we are going to fuel it up with more water before we make the trip down. And for those of you wondering, yes, we have begun. hmm, We have begun to. Huh. Okay, I'm a little confused. Oh, I got my arms. Hmm. Oh, I got pain shooting through it. Hold on. Also, I got like. Oh, excuse me. That was me rubbing my hand across my keyboard, which oddly enough still works, by the way. Look at that. That's not my mouse, by the way. That's my little touchpad that I have. Boy, that hurt. Alright, I gotta lower this down and get it as close to us as we can. Bad thing is, I don't even think this thing's actually gonna be able to fill this thing up, but we're gonna try. Considering where the thing is, well, we gotta pull it forward a little. This is one of those ones that like takes forever to actually fuel up. Yeah, because as you can see, it's not wanting to fuel it up. That's the closest I can get it. I don't know. How do we move it? Alright, we're gonna try this again. Because I gotta have a water tower. So, Summit River. I do kind of like these ones. So, we'll do this one. Alright. And, if I had to guess, we go. Right there, if I had to guess. I'm probably guessing way too wrong, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna hope and pray. Actually, if that's not perfect, oh, that is okay. I'm better at this than I gave myself credit for. Oh, that was absolutely perfect. I'll never do that again. As you can see, we got 15 things. So the only thing I'm not understanding is okay, so if I brought 6 of these and it ate 3, then I'm gonna need to do the opposite of what I did. So we'll do that and then we'll reconfigure everything. But yeah, I've always loved the 10 mile. The 10 mile has always had like a little special place in my heart when it came to the locomotives in this game. I really love the design of it. The idea of it has also always been really cool to me. I just wish it was modeled a little bit better. All right, we're gonna raise the chute up, get it put all the way back. There we go. So, I gotta get a better or bigger locomotive for the next one. So I'm probably gonna get, for the sake of myself, I'm gonna go on ahead and kind of give you guys an idea. So we just bought the 10 mile, which has 8,471 pounds of tractive effort, which is almost 1,000 more than the Glenbrook, which is one of the other locomotives that they give us. So my thoughts is to go on ahead, and because I haven't connected to the coal line yet, I don't want to get a coal locomotive. So we are going to purchase next this beast right here, the Cook Mogul. Now, that won't be the locomotive that does the all raw iron. That will be the locomotive that does the it will be the locomotive that does, well, actually, yeah, it will be the locomotive that does the raw iron. And we're going to buy 2 locomotives for 2 different reasons. This is going to be the shunter for the cordwood, and the Mosca, which is a wood burner, is going to go get the cordwood. Or, unless we get to level 5 in a decent amount of time, we'll we'll do the Heisler instead. I love the way this locomotive looks. I had a choice between the blue, the black, or the green with the really nice red trim, and I went with the blue for some strange reason. I don't regret the decision. It's a very nice looking blue, but yeah. We've got a lot of locomotives that we're going to collect over time, but for now, we're just going to deal with what we got. My worry is, I think right now, that once we start adding cars, it's going to take a lot more to get everything done than what I want. But this turn right here is so sketchy looking. Luckily, the 10 mile is actually kind of built to take turns. I love watching this thing at the front. It's got one of those really interesting bogey designs. And in reality, these little things that you see here would actually be flexing as the train moves. Once it straightens out again, you'll kind of see where it's supposed to be connected to. And what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to flex with the locomotive as the bogie moves. That is the reverser. And what I mean by that is if you watch me pull the reverser, you see it lift and then you see it drop. But I went ahead and I put the antlers on her too because the antlers being on the things was one of the coolest little customization options that I thought they could have added to the game. It wasn't anything we needed, but it was cool. The only thing I can say that I don't like about this locomotive is it is just as fast as the Montezuma is. It only hits 15 when it's not going down a hill. So, yeah, she's no speed. What in the... What did I hit? What did I hit? Oh boy. Runaway train. At least it was only the train. What the world did I hit that caused it to yank off the freaking railroad tracks like that? Freaking hit the thing and it just went yoink. Well, actually, technically, if I'm going to do this, I gotta. There we go. It literally said "Hasta la vista, baby." Oh, what the world? Freaking turned into Arnold Schwarzenegger over here. I gotta remember all the keybinds. All right, here we go. Maybe this one has a safety feature. If it hits above 20, it just derails. You know, freaking. Ugh. But yeah, I'm gonna be getting all the locomotives in this. You guys will get once we get to a point to where I can purchase all the smaller locomotives and stuff. I will start doing that probably once I get the the climax and the Heisler, you guys will see me kind of sit back, make a little bit of extra money, and buy the locomotives that I've skipped over so that you guys can kind of see how they operate a little bit. So as of right now, we have three beautiful locomotives. Well, one beautiful locomotive, two hard workers that are working on the railroad. And I swear, if I start hearing I've been working on the railroad, I'm gonna start screaming. Anyone remember that song from when they were a kid? Freaking, I've been working on the railroad all the live long day. It's like, shut up! We've all had to make sacrifices. Coal mine, sawmill, sawmill. Yeah, they were generous enough to put two sawmills on here, so I don't know what that was about, but yeah. Storage and loading. Ah. Mm-hmm. All right, well, pump the brakes a little. All right, so if my assumption is correct, from what I saw, it ate a whole thing of planks. So, um, plank, plank, and then beam, which would even out what we already have over there. So, if I got another plank, I'd need two beams. So, two cars with two beams. Okay. Wait, what's the number? 200, 201, 203. All right, cool. Yes, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Ah, schnart. I can only buy one. Oh well. Hmm. Can we go into debt? No, of course not. Why would we willingly go into debt, right, guys? We're just gonna, yeah. I've been working on the railroad all the live long day. But we got four cars now, so we're doing okay, I guess. Hmm. I've been working on the railroad way too freaking long. This freaking job sucks, but hey, somebody's got to do it. Oh, what was that thing I heard about, like engineers or whatever going on strike not too long ago? And I'm like over here, like, dudes, you're not fixing anything. You're making things worse for yourselves. I could always do the dumb thing, and instead of trying to get the iron ore mine, all the way filled up like we need it, I could just load up with planks and freaking go sell them. But if I'm being honest, I prefer to actually try to get things accomplished. So, all right, here we go. Let's go check our water. You know, our water's doing fine. I get the feeling what it was is it emptied it and put it in the ready thingy or whatever. Or that was all it did. I don't know. I've been working on the railroad. Speaking of working on the railroad, I got a whole train of lumber right here that's ready to go and do its job. Somebody poisoned the water hole. I don't know. I've lost my mind. Not that I ever really had one, but hey, it's okay. All right. We're just trying to make some money. We need money, Arthur. We need money. Freaking Dutch haunts my dreams, guys. All right, we're just gonna reverse the rest of these on here. And right there's fine. All right, perfect. One, two. It should just take two and then that'll be it. Yeah. I've been working on the railroad. All right, where's that beautiful train? There it is. All right, cool. All right, well, we're loaded up with some planks and some beams, so I'd need an extra 3 cars if I was going to do this right. So I don't have enough for 3, so we're just going to save it up. Also, in case anyone's wondering, this map does not come pre-laid with gold stuff. You only have the regular stuff that goes all the way down to the oil barrels, and then it also has the farming stuff. But, funny enough, you can look at the map. I've laid a gold mine down. There are little areas in different parts of the map where you actually can put the gold mine stuff. I'm planning on having 2 of the gold mine things in close proximity to one another because I'm going to make a line that just kind of goes from up here, goes around, and just kind of travels all the way up to get here. And then we're going to have it go over, go around, and have the last one here. And then the line will go all the way back down to where you sell the gold here. So there is a plan in motion. We got a lot of work to do, a lot of training to do. So Oh, great. The stream won't act weird. Maybe it's just YouTube itself. I don't know. I don't think it's YouTube. Maybe it's my stream. Hold on. There she goes. Okay. It was just loading it. It's fine. There we go. See, this is why I hate having slow-ish locomotives because then you're just sitting there the whole time, doom scrolling or whatever you do while you wait. I'm sorry, I'm not one of those what they call foamers when it comes to locomotives. I'm not gonna sit there and zoom in on the wheels and just watch the train just constantly do the same thing over and over again and bask at the lovely rotation of the wheels or whatever. Like I can't sit there and do that the whole time. I mean, I do love watching a good old steam train go by or whatever, but not that much. If you get what I'm saying. I'm still trying to figure out what derailed the train earlier because that was weird. But I do gotta admit, I do really like how they got this set up. It looks really good. Also, let me know. I know nobody's watching, but I'm kind of thinking about doing a live stream showing you guys how I'm going to or going on ahead instead of constantly just running trains. Also, kind of showing some of the building physics and stuff in the game. And I'm gonna go on ahead and start building to the gold mine and all, so that it's ready to go when I get ready to do it instead of having to wait. If I had people that would play the game with me and all, I could definitely do that. I could go on ahead and do that, and you guys could watch that while they're running trains and making me money, so that we have enough to get locomotives and things. But 4.5% grade. Yeah, see, this is where it's gonna screw me over. Is once we start hitting that 4.5. Yeah, she's already starting to slow down. Okay, I'm only gonna be able to put like one more car on this train. That's it. So this locomotive is quite literally useless to me. Great. Lovely. Well, she'll slowly get the job done, my lordy. I guess we'll just have to start doing what I didn't want to do and hauling planks to the freight depot until we can figure out a different way. I'll probably get a better locomotive for it, honestly. It'll probably be the best bet for me. Instead of freaking out and getting all mad about it. That way I can get a locomotive that can actually pull something. I want you guys to watch this though. So I'm gonna get out. All right, so we are currently at 524. Watch this. There's a lot of money coming in. Not really, but you know, we're making $15 per drop on this stuff. So every time we drop it off, we're making 15 bucks. All right. Well, it looks like we got to do what we got to do. How much? Almost enough. So before we go anywhere, you apply the brake, and we're going to go on ahead and order us 3 more cars so we can haul as many planks as we possibly can, like the mad people that we are. Anyway, I believe we're at 204. I figured they'd put them there. These steak flats are actually pretty good, though. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna start. I'm gonna get probably about 12 of these cars, and I'm gonna start working towards trying to save up for probably the Heisler. If I had to give a guess as to what locomotive I'm gonna get, it'll probably be the Heisler. Um, and the reason I say that is because the Heisler is probably our best bet if we want a decent locomotive. So now there at one point was a forum, a Google form that you could get access to. I don't know how updated it is or anything, but they had it to where it would actually calculate for you like what locomotive could pull what. So like I could do like, okay, how many uh trains loaded with planks can the porter pull at a such and such grade or whatever? Or it would tell you how many, tonnage or whatever. But I know a lot of people are probably going to say this. A lot of people like this locomotive. I prefer this one. I've always really liked the Porter with the extra little wheel and the extra wood holder. I just think it looks a little bit better. I think it looks a little cuter, honestly. Now, this is the Shay, for those of you wondering. This is what we have with 8,471 tractive effort. And then you have this. Oddly enough, it doesn't pull near as much, which I know this Shay is really meant to be good because of it being a geared locomotive, so that doesn't surprise me. But for it to be as big as it is, I call it the big brother to the Betsy because it does really remind me to of the Porter class locomotives. Then you have the Eureka, the Glenbrook, in which I already own. You have this one. I like this one. I think I call it the bigger version of the Montezuma because that's basically what it is. It is a very good looking locomotive. Once you deck it out and everything, it looks really, really good. Um, the yard goat is kind of what I'm going to probably end up calling this. I've used this before. It's okay, I guess. The Mosca. I love the Mosca. I love that. For me, the Mosca is that perfect mix of like the Eureka and the Glenbrook mixed with just that beautiful brassy look, but it still pulls really, really well. Then you got the Cook Mogul. Now there's two versions of this. This one was the one that they released in the game. It was already laid. I can name you guys the locomotives that were in the game before anything else was added. So, from what I remember, it was the handcart, the two porters, Eureka. I believe the yard goat was in there before. Um then you had the cook, you had the Heisler, the Climax, and then this. This was like the best locomotive you could get your hands on. It wasn't a very wide selection, but it was good enough, to make the game run. But then you have this one. This is the next one. This is also a Cook Mogul, but it is a cold-fired Cook Mogul, and it has a lot more customization that makes it look a lot better. Then you've got this little thing. I love this little thing. I love how much tractive effort it has for small as it is. I just think it looks really, really good. And then, and funny enough, it has more tractive effort than Heisler does. So that's actually really interesting. I might end up getting that instead. Then you've got, oh, it has more. Wait, it has more tractive effort than this thing? Huh. Interesting. You've got this one. This is the Cook Consolidation. Very beautiful looking locomotive once you get it customized. The Climax, which at the time, from what I remember when the game first released, this was the locomotive that was more powerful as far as tractive effort than any other locomotive. But there was a bug that made the first porter more powerful than any locomotive and could pull anything. It was a very funny bug, and then they got rid of it, and I was very sad. But you got this one. You got this Butte. You don't really get out of like where the Climax is the better locomotive until you get to the Lima consolidation, and then you finally get to a poundage of tractive effort where it's better, and you start getting locomotives that holy wheels. That locomotive is way too big for those small wheels. Oh my god, that was so weird. The Mastodon. No. And then you go from what? Freaking 19,000 to 28,000. And then from 28,000 to freaking. But yeah, I'm probably going to set my eyes on for now, probably this one. Just because I can probably get a really nice little smokestack for it. Let's see. Actually, I'm kind of disappointed. You don't really get a decent smokestack for it, but I can get a decent paint job, right? Three. Wow, this thing is quite literally just a workhorse. All right, well, we'll just get one of you. And you see the price tag. So there you guys go. That's how much money we got to grind for. So yeah, here we go. Oh boy. Unless I can figure out, I could get one of the Cook Moguls. I could just get one of those and just kind of hope and pray that it can haul. But if, I'll put it this way, depending on, you know, how much money and all we end up making from just hauling planks, and we're going to end up hauling logs too because of it, but just from hauling the planks and the logs, of course, back and forth. I'll see about how much money we can make. And if we can get enough XP, I'll probably get the climax instead. But I don't foresee that happening. Because I still gotta buy more cars for this. So, yeah. Welcome to Railroads Online, by the way. The point where you have no idea what the devs decided to do. That's one of the things I can say that I hate about the pre-laid maps is because they put like crazy grades and it makes it to where you can't go through and get every locomotive like you'd like to do. You have no choice but to skip through locomotives so that you can get one that can actually do the job that you need it to do. So yeah. And I can't get mad at the 10 mile because even if the 10 mile isn't cut out for what we're trying to get it to do here, it is definitely cut out to haul on a flat surface, which is what it'll end up doing. So it can do things, it's just not what we need it to do, if that makes any sense. Okay. And we'll just get it to I'm trying to get this stuff oh boy. And they still managed to screw me over. This is just wow. What in the Jesus Christ? I'd have to go all the freaking way around. Well, actually, it's not that bad. I mean, it'll lead me right back to where I need to be at, but oh well, it'll work for now. But yeah, I think for now that's enough railroads online, so we're just gonna go on ahead and I'll let her come to a stop. And we're gonna save it here. It's times like these where I just lose any real want to play a game because the fact that like you get all excited because you got this cool locomotive and then you find out how useless it really is. But anyway, that's actually one of the reasons I stopped playing the game to begin with, believe it or not. But we've only been playing for 44 minutes, but um sometimes it happens. I will continue to grind it so that you guys don't have to watch it. Um, I'll probably, maybe, possibly do a little bit of building. I don't know. We'll figure it out again. Anyway, I hope everybody has a lovely day and remember